because clearly some red flags had been raised but were missed. The gunman Mateen, he was on a terror watch list, twice investigated by the FBI, yet he was still able to buy those guns days or the week before the attack. With us now is Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke, obviously a man involved in law enforcement. Did law enforcement drop the ball, Sheriff?
Big time. And you know, they shouldn't be bashful about admitting it. Look, this is not a perfect world. But we're making the same mistakes, Stuart, as we did pre-9/11 with the planning of the 9/11 attacks. Remember the Phoenix memo where they were alerted to guys of taking flight lessons, and the administrators of the FBI told them to leave it alone, to go away. We dropped the ball. When I say we, law enforcement, federal law enforcement, after the Boston bombing, those guys were on the radar screen. You go to Fort Hood with Nidal Hassan, same thing. He was on their radar screen. I'm getting tired of hearing how these guys are on the radar screen after they pull an attack. The problem is, the big problem, is we don't have a clear and coherent domestic intelligence strategy with the right agency involved here in the United States to prevent, preempt, and to otherwise disrupt terror attacks before they happen. You have to stay on the front end of this to be more successful. It's always after the attacks the FBI comes out, and I'm not being hypercritical of them, but the fact is that they're the lead domestic intelligence agency in the United States. I think they're the wrong one, but they come out with all of this information after the fact.
But Sheriff,
this guy was ruled inconclusive in their determination. I mean, this is insane.
Sheriff, they're down 6,000 agents in the FBI. The budget cuts have taken 6,000 agents off the streets, out of the FBI. Do they have the manpower to cover 24/7, literally hundreds of suspects?
Well, you know, I'm not going to blame budget cuts on this. That may be a situation that has to be dealt with, but I haven't heard that before, not from anybody from the higher-ups in the FBI. Look, if they're incapable of handling that, they should say something to Congress. But, you know, to do good intelligence like MI5 in the UK, like Mossad over in Israel, it's not really all about manpower. It's using all these systems. But see, what the FBI, where they fall short, and I said fall short, is they're always looking for probable cause to make an arrest to prosecute. That's not intelligence work. Intelligence work focuses on identifying the threats, establishing their capabilities, and determining are they planning an attack, and let some decision maker know ahead of time, in enough time, to make a decision on whether they should preempt that attack. That did not happen here. This guy was a threat. No one would argue that. Did he have the capability? Well, yes, he did. If he owns firearms, he has the capability. Was he planning an attack? Well, they didn't learn that until after last Saturday night. So we're falling short, and you know, until we recognize we don't have a clear domestic intelligence strategy in the United States to prevent, preempt more of these attacks than not. The same
Sheriff,
themes keep coming out of every one of these terror attacks, too.
Sheriff, hold on for 1 second.